Once upon a time, nestled at the center of all known things, there existed a magical realm filled with wonder and enchantment. This is Torus. At the heart of this world stood a magnificent tree, whose ancient branches stretched high into the sky, touching the very heavens. From this tree, all magic and life flowed. Our story begins in a cozy little burrow in the town of Beaver Creek, where there lived a curious and kind-hearted hedgehog named Morris. He spent his days exploring the wonders of Torus, relishing in the harmony and beauty that surrounded him. But one fateful day, Morris's peaceful life was interrupted by a very unexpected arrival. 3 strangers from unknown lands had appeared in Mr. Morris's cottage. Harold, the brave little owl, the Princess Liliana Linoleum Lulworth, and Bastet, the cat goddess. 2 council wizards, Fourberry and Sunshadow, concerned for the safety and balance of Torus, hurried to Morris's cottage to question the strangers, only to find each one had memories of humans that had been banished many years ago. "Let us keep them within the council building for the night, where we may learn more," said Sunshadow. But as the moon rose high in the night sky, a soft knocking echoed from the ancient chest in the corner of the room. Curiosity sparkled in their eyes as they approached with caution. To their astonishment, there emerged a young human prince, his eyes wide with fear and surprise. The young prince's presence filled the room with a newfound terror, intertwining the destinies of all 3 of our new heroes. Forever.
I'm extremely startled. I closed the chest lid back on him.
Slam down on the chest and you hear some very muffled screaming from inside.
And then jump back with my sword raised.
You hear some thudding now on the door. "Excuse me, is everything okay in there?"
There's a human boy in here. It looks like the pictures in the storybooks.
The door bursts open and striding in 3 foot high is Sunshadow. He grabs his staff and he points it towards the chest and he says, "If you are a human in there, you better come out right now, slowly."
I use the point of my sword to reopen the chest.
No longer screaming, but his eyes are really wide in fright, is this young prince. Seeing that, Sunshadow recoils and kind of falls over his feet.
He looked harmless.
Morris, you are still in your house. You can begin making your way over if you want to.
I've put daughter to sleep, so yeah.
And are you taking anything with you?
Glass of milk.
So you open the cupboard portal and a flurry of snow comes out as you grab some milk.
Oh, and a snow cone.
As now, for those of you in the room, you begin hearing the thudding footsteps coming down the hallway, as then the door opens and bleary-eyed in a sleeping hat and dressed in a dressing gown is the Mayor Limrock. So you look at the chest and you see his face, pale. His eyes kind of go cross-eyed and he falls backwards and faints.
What are you supposed to do when you find a human?
There's a procedure we have to follow, but oh gosh, the gods will be very angry with me.
I turn to the boy. How long have you been here?
I arrived here about 2 days ago.
Have you been in this chest the entire time?
No, I woke up in here.
Oh, in the chest.
Well, yes, I assume this is some kind of prank.
Okay, I turn back to the halfling. If he's been here for 2 days and the gods know everything, wouldn't you think that if they did have a problem with him being here, they would have done something by now? I quietly take out my pendulum of charm person. The save is 14.
I rolled a 13.
He is charmed. Maybe this is one of the good guys that have been sent here to help somehow.
Please make a persuasion check with advantage.
15 for the first one, 18 for the second.
That is quite reasonable. Maybe he wasn't one of the humans who was banished. But there is one way to make sure. Does any of you have a knife on you?
I do have several blades.
Mr. Morris, you make it back to the room just as you hear that and rush in with a little small knife that you raise. And he takes it from you and says, "Oh, thank you." And then he approaches the human. That is a natural 20. Sunshadow cuts the guy's hand and you see some red blood splatter out. "I've done nothing wrong. I'm a reasonable person. I'm only here for the wedding."
The wedding.
My wedding?
Oh, well, we know someone else who's getting married.
I can assure you, I would not be marrying this. Like, I'd like to search the mayor. 22.
So you very stealthily search the pockets and search the robe, and you find a set of keys, and you also find a letter.
Sure, I'll take the letter and the keys. I'd like to sneak out the room, please. I'd like to lock the door behind me.
I slurp my glass of milk and I ask what's going on.
There's this chicken leg human. He popped out of the chest and everyone freaked out.
I approach the chicken leg human. What's your name?
I'm Prince Newt.
Where are you the prince of?
That is personal information that I'm not disclosing to the likes of you.
I threaten him with my claws.
Make an intimidation check.
13.
Those don't frighten me. I can take a scratch, as you can see.
Filthy human.
That round.
I put my sword away. Offer a wing. But you're not from this world, right?
What do you mean, not of this world?
I'm not from here. Bastard here is not from here. We're from a different sort of realm. We don't live here. I assume that you didn't either.
What happened to you?
We're not sure. I was flying. There was a window in the sky. I smashed it, and then I was here. Not here, but, that guy's house.
I was sucked into a box.
Would your mind be able to make this sort of stuff up?
I don't think he's a threat. So what can we do about this?
There is a fort in Darkwood, and, well, that's our standard procedure, is to take them there. And then he looks at the fallen dwarf, and he's like, well, usually he'd be the one to take them, but, well, we've never had a human here before, and look, I know you're not registered officially, but if you could take him, maybe I could perhaps bump up your name 500 each in the queue to leave?
I think 1,000.
Make a persuasion check, please.
12?
Something you need to understand, Harold. We're just Beaver Creek. We're not Proudstone. We can't do anything like that.
Well, you can do 500.
You know how dangerous the road to Darkwood is.
Yeah, well, the road is dangerous. There are all kinds of rootlings out there.
Exactly, so we're taking on that risk.
Wait a second. Where's the Crown Princess gone?
I'm literally just outside the door.
Oh.
I've just been listening, waiting. I'll read the letter while I'm here, then.
You open the letter, but it's written in Dwarvish. Can you read that?
No, I cannot. I'm gonna run away down the corridor.
This corridor lit only by torches, and you reach the end of the corridor, you come up to a massive door, and it's open, and inside you see the mayor's bedroom.
I'm gonna go in, just hide under the covers and sulk.
The room's just lined with wardrobes and cupboards and chests and stuff, and you rush in, pull up the massive plush duvet, and cover yourself under it.
I could do message, can't I? That means that only the other person can hear, right? I'll just quickly message the guy. Look, I don't intend on taking you to Darkwood. Just go along with it, mate.
You see him flinch and just begin looking over his shoulder panically, and then he looks around the room slowly and meets your eye, Harold.
I wink.
All right, I will come along with you to this camp, but what are you going to do with me when you get there?
You die.
It's a prank, don't worry.
Yeah, don't listen to the cat lady.
Bastard doesn't know what she's talking about.
Just please promise that you'll get me home straight after. And then Sunshadow says, we can grant you access to our equipment if you need to take that with you. And of course, we'll be granting you a guide as well. We have only a few hours before sunrise, and you better be on the road before then. As then he leaves you in the room alone with Prince Newt.
I thought we leave the fish. She wets herself.
I go and look for Liliana.
My sobbing is quite obvious.
I also follow the wet footprints.
You come into the mayor's room and you see the bed, and underneath the bed is a really large bulge of someone who's clearly hiding under there.
Hello.
Go away.
I do the little sneaky thing where you pretend to walk away.
I peek out from my duvet. I apologize.
That wasn't very nice behaviour.
I know, I'm just scared.
It's okay, we're all scared. Would you like to come with us?
Yes, please, Mr. Morrisman.
I cast Good Berry. I give Liliana all my good berries. I know you really want to get back, but I hope this can make you feel just a little more at home.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We go back to the group.
Everybody, I brought you berries.
Where did you find them?
The mayor's bedroom.
How would he be keeping berries in his room?
Midnight snack. So what's the plan?
We all agree we're not actually going to Darkwood, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Fine.
So we need a plan.
Don't go to Darkwood.
Wait a sec. I thought there weren't any humans.
Well, that's where all the humans are since they started coming through.
So they just get sent there.
Yes.
So I was right. You do die when you go.
We need a plan to avoid going to Darkwood,
Or
or,
rescue everyone from Darkwood.
and what then?
Take them to wherever the place is that people can go home.
It's heavily guarded.
Revolution!
You're talking about overthrowing the council.
Oh yeah, I have experience in that. Yeah, I've done it twice.
Oh, you need a small mouse.
And a wand of magic missile.
I do know of a very powerful wand.
Ooh.
Many, many years ago, powerful wizards used to cut wood from the world tree and make wands out of them.
How do I get me one of those?
I've got some books in my library about them, but I haven't dug into them yet.
I would like to dig into those if that's okay.
Bastet and Liliana, would you like to get the equipment?
Sure.
Sun Shadow returns, bringing with him a giant furry figure. He kind of just ducks under the doorway. He's carrying a walking staff and he's got a backpack on already of equipment. Hello, I am Sparrowmind, and I believe I will be guiding you to Darkwood.
Hello, Sparrowmind.
What creature is this?
He is a furbolg.
A furball.
A furbolg.
He's going to be a big squishy furball.
That's just like, I cough those up every day.
This what becomes of them? I'm horrified.
Hello, Mr. Sparrowmind. We're very happy for you to be our guide. Do you know where the equipment is that we've been promised?
He looks at the ceiling for a minute as he thinks, and then says, "You can come with me." And then he turns around and he just kind of steps into nothingness.
Okay, Bastet, Liliana, would you like to go with him?
Yes, I would.
And then about 20 seconds later, he peeks around the corner of the door, just down the hall, as then he just vanishes again. So you follow his very vague instructions, and you head down into like the basement dungeon area. It's a giant circle room lined with weapons, which have like glowing lights around them. There are suits of armor everywhere, and at the center of this room is a large round table, and then on top of that table is a statue of a donut-shaped planet. At the center there is a tree that comes out through the middle and that is connected to the land around it. As then the halfling Sun Shadow hops downstairs after you. You can take whatever you want to as long as you promise to bring it back in one piece.
Okay, Bastet and Liliana, you get all the stuff for all of us, and me and Harold will go back to the cottage.
Any requests?
Oh, could I get some armor, please?
Tiny armor.
Harold and I go back to the cottage to learn about the wands.
Also, pick up the page when we get there.
So Mr. Morris and Harold make their way back to Morris's cottage, and you see that the page is still pinned to the wall by the arrow, and it describes the scene of Harold flying off as the Dean reaches out a wing and says, "Do not worry, Harold. We will find you. We will solve this mystery."
Then we can all write it when we're back safe.
I found a book.
Hey, I get to reading it. Oh, by the way, can I have a snow cone?
I jump into the portal and grab the snow cone.
I munch on the snow cone while I read the book.
So the book that you found is on legendary/mythical weapons. As you look at the contents, there are chapters on, swords and stones and flying hammers and a bow that's been formed by a lightning bolt. And then you turn to the chapter on wands. So this chapter talks about the world tree. In the earliest days of the first age of Torus, the wizards of that time would cut off branches and twigs from the world tree and fashion them into wands. And the book says that there were 25 of these wands were formed, but almost all of them have been lost to time.
I also make a mental note to steal a leaf from the tree, to take it back to my book of pressed leaves at home.
As you're reading that, we're going to cut now to the armory.
Is there any explosives?
Sadly, no explosives, sorry.
Just get a ton of knives. That's for everyone.
I can't wear armor, apparently. Can I get a shield instead?
I'm going to get some scale mail, because it's fitting, and I'm going to try my hand with the trident.
Sure.
I'm leading it.
Sparrowmind returns now. You have chosen some very fine items, but now we must head off. And once again, he just vanishes.
Have me and Morris rejoined them yet?
Oh yeah, you could have walked back by then for sure.
Mr. Sparrowmind,
He appears again. Yes,
are you aware you keep dropping in and out of existence?
I have been here this whole time.
Yeah, for you, but not us. You keep vanishing.
I go behind him so that he doesn't see me, but Morris does, and I'm just like,
We should be On our way.
We'll drop off at the cottage to get you a snow cone.
Oh, so you head back to the cottage now.
Oh, have we disguised Newt? Can be a bird like me, but maybe a flightless one because you can't fly. How about an emu?
I still don't quite understand why you have to disguise me.
People hate humans here.
So it's dangerous for you to look like a human.
As then he looks to Sparrowman, he looks to you, Harold, and he's like, just so I'm piecing everything together, you're going to take me to a camp, and they're not going to let me go home. But then all of you profit from this.
Yes.
Okay, so what happens if I run?
They may kill you.
But the way the cat lady put it is that I'm going to go to the camp and die anyway. Look, I'm willing to go with you. Just let's come up with an actual plan along the way so we can all get out of this.
Can I message everyone at once or consecutively?
You can only do it consecutively.
So I use the next minute or so to message everyone and basically say, look, because he's disappearing a couple of days down the road, let's all just gaslight him into thinking we can't see him at all, regardless of whether we can.
I'm very scared by his voice in my head.
But he can contact the council and get in contact with some even more powerful people than him.
It'll take them a few days to reach us, and by that point, we don't know where Darkwood is. He's supposed to be our guide, and if our guide suddenly disappears, if we go in the wrong direction, so be it.
Are we still in message?
It can be.
Just a group message you got going on.
The group chat.
Do you think we should tie up Newt?
Is Newt included in the message?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Newt's responses have been pretty positive, so he seems to want to go along with this plan.
I asked Newt, we could either not go to Darkwood at all and just try and find some other way out of here, or a way just where they can't find you or us, or go to Darkwood and rescue all the other humans that are there.
I have no personal investment in all the humans that are there. I just want to go home, get married, and live the life I should have had.
You're a prince, right?
Correct, yes.
Think of this as your training to be king.
I don't need any extra training.
But you've never had Torus training.
Wait, did you say Taurus training or tourist training?
Both. As King Newt, what would you do? Would you save yourself alone, or would you try to help save your people?
And make a persuasion check.
5.
He seems to be inspired for a moment, his eyes widening as you can kind of see them like processing the thought of him being king. And then he's like, yeah, no, I'm going to protect myself.
Okay, Bastard,
Yes.
what would you say we do? Save the humans, bearing in mind you may be worshipped by them, or save Newt?
Let's go. Rescue my subjects.
I'm with Prince Newt, and I smile at him.
Oh, someone's got a crush.
Newt, are you happy with saving the people?
It seems to be my only option right now.
Okay, then it's unanimous.
To Darkwood.
Daughter,
The bookshelf pulls apart and you see the daughter like climb out, rub her eyes. Yeah?
get your handkerchief. We're going on an adventure.
Cut to black. You've been travelling now for a couple of days, and Sparrowmind is walking up ahead, and he kind of steps back into step with Bastard, and he peers down at you. So where are you returning to?
That will be none of your business.
You spoke of worship. Are you one of the gods there?
Yes, I'm worshipped by all.
But will you be missed?
Of course.
I see. He just mutters and then walks and then steps into nothingness again. You notice in the distance now a very destroyed ruin of a temple. And at the top of this, a stone carved figure.
What's that?
It's a building. Do you want to go to it?
Yes. But wait, curiosity kills cats. Maybe I'll stay behind.
Wait, but cats have 9 lives.
That's a good point. I'll come.
Sparrowmind is on a horse and he kind of spins it around. Amidst a cloud of dust, he says, "No, that is not the way to go. We are going to Darkwood.
I keep going. Come on, bastard.
I'm coming.
The place will clearly be covered with Rootlings."
Liliana.
So you just ignore Sparrowmind and continue making your way towards the temple. This stone is covered in moss and is crumbling in so many places. On the entrance, you notice that the symbol on the top is one of a fox.
I investigate
What would you like to investigate?
the door to see if I can open it. I knock first.
So as you take a step forward, your foot slides into a pressure plate and a spear comes flying out of the temple and hits you in the shoulder. 8 points of piercing damage as it pierces your shoulder and your front is beginning to cover with gold blood.
Ow! I curl up into a ball. Bastard, attack!
I attack.
Damp, rotted wood flies in every direction as you tear this thing to pieces. Now evening sunlight streams into this temple.
I pick up Morris
Thank you, Bastard.
and I carry him into the tunnel.
I will follow, but I'll check for traps as I go.
Yeah, that's wise. Please make an investigation check.
6.
All you notice is the pressure plate that has been stepped on by Mr. Morris, and you don't find any others like it.
When I catch up to them, I'll cast Cure Wounds on Morris.
Oh, thank you.
You get 11 back.
Thanks,
I sing a
Harold.
little song as I do the... Oh, wait, no! I play my bagpipes.
The last note of the bagpipe as you cast this spell resounds across the whole temple, and you hear some scarpering from down there.
Are we trying to be sneaky?
I'm very stealthy being, so I move with stealth.
You keep heading down into this tunnel, and it opens into a large hall which has 6 statues of animals facing each other. And at the end of this hall is the crumbled remains of a 7th statue.
They're the gods.
Ah, what animals are they?
There is a snake, a crane, a praying mantis, a monkey, a tiger, and a panda.
It's Kung Fu Panda!
It is Kung Fu Panda.
Each of the gods represent a certain skill that we all have.
I'd say attribute.
Attribute, yeah. The tiger is strength. The monkey is dexterity. The panda is constitution. The snake is intelligence. The crane is wisdom. And the praying mantis is charisma, apparently.
I say swap them over. Crane is charisma.
The
Yeah, go the other way around.
Yeah.
As you're describing this, Mr. Morris, you all hear a clanging from somewhere below you.
I get out my torch and I light it with my magics.
As you wave your hand over a torch, a soft glow begins appearing, and then it bursts into flames. And now you can see really clearly the faces of all these gods. As then you raise it higher, the torch shines on the crumbled remains of a fox.
This is the disgraced god.
Can I investigate those crumbled remains?
You can roll investigation, please.
A 13.
As you peer down to investigate this ancient stone statue, you begin to notice that this place doesn't seem quite as deserted as you would have first thought. There are fresh footprints in the dust that kind of lead into the next room, and on the stones themselves there is some dried golden blood. It seems quite recent.
I'll follow the footprints.
I'm gonna kneel down in front of the tiger god, and as I do it, I turn into a tiger.
Harold quietly says to himself, why is it always a cat?
I go up to Bastard and I purr.
I purr back.
Wait, so who has the torch if you're a tiger?
I've just dropped it on the ground.
I'll pick it up.
So you take the torch and you begin walking down into this next hall. It seems to be a shrine up ahead, and there are just columns and pillars holding this temple up. And then from behind one of these columns, you see a figure dashed, and as you shine the torch up, you see a giant shadow across the wall. You can make a perception check to see any further.
Yeah, definitely going to follow and look at that. Perception is 25.
Your eyes widen and begin focusing around this room a lot more. The altar, the shrine, you see a golden fox behind it. It looks like it's solid gold, as then you see the figure run out from behind the column, open up a trapdoor, and then just drop down inside of it. As then the slam of the trapdoor resounds around the hall, and you see dust rise and fill the area.
Okay, I'll go follow this guy to the trapdoor. I won't go down it, I'll investigate it first.
I'm following Harold.
I'm following Harold.
All of you crowd around this small trapdoor. You see another patch of dried gold blood that seems to be smeared across the floor, as if something has been dragged down there. And then you hear some strange whispering in a language that none of you understand.
Can I open the trapdoor a little bit, enough to cast sleep on whoever's down there?
You can try. As you open the trapdoor, right there in front of you, diving out, is a beaked figure with rotting scaly skin, shiny black eyes, and like muscular limbs that seem to end in hooks. Mr. Morris, you recognize this as a rootling. You alone would know this. The same way that the people would fall through into Torus, rootlings have forced their way through. They are made of dark magic and pretty much embody evil. Their intentions for Torus are unknown, but they're really vicious and dangerous, and you've been warned about being scratched or bitten by one of them, as they can be quite fatal. and it pushes you out of the way as it dives out of this with a 15 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
So as it launches out, has a short sword in one hand and tries to cut across your armor, and you just feel it scratch across, but you don't feel any pain. As everyone now, please roll initiative. All right, so first to respond to this is Bastard.
Okay, I'll just slash it with my Yikowa. So I can have one in each hand.
You can attack with 2 weapons, but the second one will be with disadvantage.
Okay, do that. That's 14.
I'm afraid 14 will not hit.
Natural 1.
As it's flailing, it knocks the first Yikowa out of your hand. As you try and stab with the second one, it ducks underneath it and rolls to one side.
I am going to stab him with both of my daggers. 11 to hit and 14 to hit.
You try stabbing with the first one, it lands right next to a clawed foot, and you see some dust rise up in the air, which distracts you as you try and reach around with the second one, and it's still in a frenzy. It whacks upwards, and you just miss its arm by an inch.
Firebolt. 10 to hit.
That won't hit either.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Your armor glows and then blasts out a firebolt, which skirts under his leg and falls down into the trapdoor. You can see a burst of fire from down there as it sets a bit of wooden scaffold on fire.
I'm going to pounce 13 strength saving throw.
That's a 14.
Oh, okay.
As he rolls out of the way from the pounce, his short sword in one hand, he takes a really quick dig towards Harold with a 20 to hit.
Yeah, 20 hits.
8 points of slashing damage as he rolls out of the way and clips your wing.
I will just try hit it again. 17?
17 hits.
Yes! 5 damage.
You spin around and pounce with the Yikowa, and you cut into its back and force it into him, as then you're surrounded by black, inky ooze that's coming out of his back, as his screech echoes around the hall.
I'm going to try again with my daggers. 16 to hit, 17 to hit.
Both of those will hit.
5 damage and 4 damage. 9 damage.
So with Bastet on its back, you force one dagger into it and you manage to get a hit. This thing takes a stumbling step backwards as you run forward with the second dagger and force it into its chest, which then pushes it off the edge of the trapdoor. As screeching, it falls down the trapdoor and lands with a horrible squelch at the bottom.
I feel the rush of killing something for the first time in my life. Smile.
Are we out of battle now?
I don't think so. We heard voices, so I'm going to check down the trapdoor again. This time, readying firebolt again.
I ready pounce.
I'm ready my trident.
As you peer down the trapdoor, you already begin to feel the cold air that's down there, and you can smell some kind of water source. You notice the broken, disintegrating body that's lying at the foot of this ladder. And then you notice around the rest of the cavern down here are wooden scaffolds, and you see the movement of other rootlings that are down here. And then a moment later you hear the twang of a bow as an arrow gets lodged up in the wood of the trapdoor that you're holding.
How big is the room down there?
It's quite a big cavern. It's a straight drop, and then the cavern just kind of descends into a further tunnel system by the looks of it.
I shoot firebolt
Great.
in the direction that the arrows came from. 12 to hit. I'm not doing well on these rolls.
Skirting out of your armor, this firebolt blasts off and lands again on another one of these wooden structures, which sets alight really quickly. And in this new light of the fire, you see 4 rootlings around, peering up at you with like inky black eyes. And you see the one with the bow as he's getting another arrow ready.
I'm going to turn back into a hedgehog, and I'm going to cast Erupting Earth.
Make a dexterity save of
15.
So 3 of them fall over. As in his reaction, the arrow is loosed from his bow towards you, which also lodges into the wood of the trapdoor.
The one with the bow takes half damage.
Oh wow, okay.
All the others take 22 damage.
So Mr. Morris, with your staff extended, the whole earth begins shaking, as then rocks begin flying, the earth begins churning, as the whole cavern seems to be turning on these rootlings. Scaffolding and fire fall down on all of them. They are buried under rocks, and the one with the bow jumps up and lands almost unsteadily on his feet. He hisses something angrily at all of you, and then rushes down into the tunnels.
I say we jump down.
Bastard, could you carry me down, please?
Yeah, sure.
You come into the cavern and see at the far wall from behind you, there used to be what could have been a fountain that this earth has also destroyed a lot of. As then you spot smears of blood and footprints that head down the tunnels, where there is a huge stone archway and wooden beams that are supporting the structure of this tunnel.
Look, some footprints. They're going this way. I'm not going alone.
I'll come.
Awesome.
Oh, fly.
As you begin making your way down, there is a large screech from somewhere further down.
I screech back.
I go into a ball.
Can anyone speak Auran?
Yes!
Genuinely.
Is this the first time this has happened?
In the 5 years we've been playing, that's the first time that's ever happened. So as you screech back, he recognizes that you were saying something in Auran. What were you saying?
Who are you?
You hear back just the word, captured!
Oh. I screech back. We will help.
Again, just one word, it is, quickly!
I let them know. They need help. They've been captured. They said to come quickly.
I turn into a tiger.
I'm gonna go.
So you pick up pace as you travel down this tunnel, and the air gets colder and colder the further down you go. After about 30 seconds, it opens up. A faint beam of sunlight lights up a island surrounded by a pool of quite shallow water, although there are boats on here. And at the top of this island is a large bird-like creature with 4 wings, clawy beak-like face, and yellow and blue feathers. It's almost like an X-wing with the shape, so it's like the wings are in an X shape, curled over almost in agony. And surrounding this creature are a few of these evil-looking rootlings that you've just been fighting.
Is he really big?
Yeah, he's about 10 feet long.
We found our dragon.
Well, I definitely want to help, and especially since he's been asking for help and he speaks my language. Do I firebolt? Oh, no, earth tremor. There we go.
There are quite a few of these rootlings down here. 30-foot high scaffolding that line the cavern walls around this water. There are some rootlings on the boats nearby, and then of course the ones on the island are quite close to the land as well. So where would you like to aim this earth tremor?
So the ones that are hurting it, I currently don't want to go for them because that might hurt the creature. Let's go for the ones that are on land then, so that I can also hit the scaffolding. So yeah, it's a 14 dexterity to...
I'll just do that for the group of them that are on this scaffolding. That is a 9.
Yeah, okay. And then the damage is 10.
How are you casting this spell?
Oh, bagpipes.
As you begin playing this song and the bagpipes, all the rootlings begin looking at you as a single glowing bead flies out of one of the pipes of your bagpipes. Everyone's eyes follow it. It floats almost slowly into the air, as then it plummets down into the ground, causing this massive earth tremor to appear, as the whole earth shakes and scaffolding falls, burying these rootlings. And as they're buried, all the remaining rootlings begin picking up crude weapons, as then one single one from the top screeches something really loudly, as then all of them repeat the same cry in a horrific otherworldly language as they begin making their way towards you. And that is where we're going to end the session for this evening.